What is going on, guys? Welcome back to another video here on the channel. If you are new here and enjoy basketball content, we definitely appreciate you hitting that subscribe button as it helps us grow as we continue to put out content. But today we're going to be doing a video on Josh Green of the Dallas Mavericks. He just finished his third year in the NBA and has played a vast majority of his minutes next to a very high usage player in Luka Doncic. And they just recently acquired Kyrie Irving as well. So it's going to be a little bit different video compared to some of the videos we've done on higher usage, higher upside players. But that's okay. That's okay. That's really what we're about here on this channel, is appreciating basketball players in whatever form and fashion that they come in. And there's a lot to like about Josh Green. He has improved steadily every single year. He played 11 minutes his rookie year, 15 minutes the year after, and then 25 minutes last year. He shot 45% his rookie year, 50% his second year, 53.7% in his third year. He shot 16% from three his first year, 36% his second year, 40% last year. Upping the volume from a half a three a game to 1.2 a game to almost three a game at 2.8 last year as well. So I think Josh Green is going to be a really good, prominent role player in this league for years and years to come. But let's waste no more time. Let's get into his game and break down what we like about Josh Green. All right, let's keep it simple to start. I love the juice that Josh Green provides in transition. Again, if you're going to play next to very high usage players, you're going to have to make the most of your opportunities in transition when the defense isn't set. And Josh Green absolutely does that. He has great just straight line downhill speed. He's able to just run past guys. And then he doesn't have this crazy bag like Kyrie Irving or Luka Doncic. But what he does have is great functional strength and great athleticism that allows him to make the most of any downhill situation that he's in. So like right here, right? And again, this is not the best transition defense at all, but he's way behind Kennard, way behind Bane. Kind of an awkward catch, but he catches it in stride. Not an easy finish. Bucket. All right, again, not good transition defense, but we have Kennard back, we have Bane back, we have Santi back, we have Roddy back. Four guys, somewhat compact. It's a simple right to left cross, and the straight line speed. He's able to get to the rim before any of the help can get there. That's juice. All right, again, I recognize this is the regular season, and sometimes guys aren't giving it their all. But look at the ground that Josh Green has to make up here on Norman Powell. Timmy gives it to him. He turns the corner, gets downhill. Like, if you're not set, Josh is going to go finish at the rim. And then here, same game, he's going to do it again. Gets the steal from Zoo. And unlike last clip, Norman Powell's backpedaling, right? So it makes a little bit more sense that he would beat him. PG is able to turn his hips and is running straight. He is sprinting himself. Josh is just too fast and gets the jam. All right, and again, he pairs this great straight line speed with really good functional strength. And we'll get into it more in the half-court setting, but right here, gets downhill on Trey. Little bump to get him off balance. Set himself up for an easy layup. Couple other clips here. Just boom, right by Jalen Smith to the bucket. I know, again, a lot of these clips are against the Memphis Grizzlies, but stride for stride with Bane, and he's just faster. Just faster. Okay, and I wanted to add this last clip in here again to demonstrate the body control and functional strength. Ish Wainwright steps in, tries to take a charge. Ish Wainwright's a big dude. You see, he's not even staring at the basket. He's looking the opposite way. Turns around, finishes. That's just good stuff, Josh. All right, the next aspect of his game is going to be the mid-range. And I feel like Josh Green is a very underrated mid-range shooter. I'm going to let some of these clips roll in the background. But this is not something that he did coming into the league, right? So there's just the fact that he's added this to his bag in year 3 is very encouraging. And I think there's going to be room for growth. Again, he's playing next to Luka Doncic and Kyrie Irving, so a lot of times he's catching in advantageous situations, only has one man to beat, but he has done a good job with the reps that he's been given, with the opportunities that he's been given. Doesn't have a crazy handle, but a great first step, great downhill speed, great functional strength to get into the body of defenders and leverage that to create space. And there are times where he will put the ball on the floor and use a dribble move to create some space and get by guys. All right, so here are some examples of the functional strength on big men. Udoka Azubuike, 6'11", 270. Bump. When he takes his shot, Azubuike is planted, right? Like, he can't contest because he went into him and created space. Here, Jaren Jackson, the defensive player of the year, will stop it when he creates the space. Look at that. Jaren is planted. He can't get out and contest that. That's strength and body control. Now, when I say he doesn't have a crazy handle, it doesn't mean it's bad, right? So there are a couple examples. He gets Malik Monk on him, left to right cross, spin. He loves this combination and generally able to create a good look like he does right here. Here's another example. Denny Advia, good defender on the Wizards. He's going to cross, left to right, spin off, create a good look. Actually, kind of a tough look, but he makes it anyway. And then obviously we have to get to the finishing. Would you believe me if I told you Josh Green finished 71.74% of his shots at the rim this year, good for 90th percentile as a guard? And part of that is, yes, the juice that he has in transition, but you don't finish 71.74% of your shots at the rim as a guard without some finishing chops, without having good touch, and Josh Green definitely has that. And one of the ways he best showcases his touch is his floater. He loves his floater, and he'll use it in two different ways. He'll use it right here when there's a big in the paint and he doesn't have a clear angle. He'll just go ahead, get to a spot, and float it over the big. But the other way he uses it, if there's a guy on him stride for stride, he'll bump, create a little bit of leverage, and float it over. So you'll see right there, Keegan Murray. But the thing that I love is it doesn't have to be a guard or even a wing or a forward. This is Xavier Tillman, a 6'8", 250-pound man that he's bumping off their stride and floating over. And then I had to add this in here at the end. This is my favorite Josh floater of the year. Really, really tough. Two guys committed. Over the top. That is touch. And then I know we've already kind of seen it in the mid-range. He'll use the spin to create some space and get a mid-range shot. He'll also do it to finish at the rim. Here it is on Draymond. It's a tough bucket. And then he does the exact same thing going left this time. So I think that just shows, right, it's versatile. It's not just going left. It's not just going right. It's not just on weak defenders. That's Jaren Jackson and Draymond Green. And then I just wanted to show he's just always under control and has very high IQ. So right here, he'll catch it, realizes, hey, it is pointless to go up on Jaren here. Pass fake to Dwight Powell, create a little space, bucket. Josh Green is a high IQ basketball player. All right, and the last aspect of his scoring is obviously the three-point shot. Shot 40% from three this year, which obviously is very, very encouraging. Not super high volume, only took 2.8, so about 3 threes a game. Almost all of these threes are very wide open and quality looks generated from Luka Doncic or Kyrie Irving. But that doesn't matter. In fact, it's almost more encouraging to me that this is a guy who's not going to force up shots. He's always going to play within himself. Again, I'm viewing Josh Green as a very good role player in the future. And role players make smart plays. They take smart shots. And that's exactly what Josh Green does. But I think the most encouraging aspect of this, and we talked about it a little bit at the start of the video, is the steady improvement. Like, he wasn't even taking threes his rookie year. Took 0.6 threes a game his rookie year. Made it at a 16% clip. But guess what? Comes back his second year, takes 1.2 a game, makes it at a 36% clip, and then last year, 2.8 a game at a 40% clip. That may not seem like a lot on the surface, but that is a huge, huge improvement. Not only does he improve the output of threes that he's taking, but he also improves the percentages. Like, the more you shoot, if you're able to keep your same percentages at a higher output, that's encouraging. If you're able to increase the percentages while increasing the output, that's even more encouraging. And again, this is not a guy who I'm expecting to be Steph Curry. That's okay. He's a role player. As long as he's playing next to Luka Doncic and Kyrie Irving, he's going to get open shots, right? And so being able to provide that spacing where guys can't sag off of you in the corner, they can't provide extra help on Luka and Kyrie, because if you get an open shot, you're going to nail it. It's huge. It's huge. And it just completes the package of what Josh Green provides as a role player. All right, now let's get into my favorite part of Josh Green, his playmaking. And I know what you're probably thinking, right? Like, on a team with Luka Doncic and Kyrie Irving, how are you calling Josh Green a playmaker? But I distinctly remember watching multiple Mavs games this year, and I felt like in every single one of these games, Josh Green would make at least one pass that just made you go like, what? Wait, what? Did Josh Green really just make that pass? And honestly, the tape bears it out. He's a really good connective passer, which is just the simple passes. I'm not going to put those clips in this reel just because they're pretty straightforward. But that's not always the case for young players, right? Sometimes they're in their head trying to think about, hey, when's my next shot coming? If there's an open guy, Josh Green will find that guy and get him the ball. And then when he is in downhill situations, he is almost always going to find the open man in those situations as well. Another aspect of his passing that I really enjoy is the lobs. He had great chemistry with Dwight Powell for whatever reason. You'll see in a lot of these clips. Very accurate lob passer, both in transition and in the half court. And for me, it's just a really cool way to showcase his IQ and processing speed as a basketball player, because these lobs are split-second reads. You have to read that it's there and execute upon that all very quickly, or else it's gone. And he did that consistently this year. Now, with that being said, let's get to some of my favorite Josh Green passes of the year. All right, so we talk about processing speed, right? He catches the ball top of the key. Watch, his eyes and head are all facing towards Tim Hardaway. That forces Kevin Huerter out. As soon as Kevin Huerter leaves, the ball's there on a dime. And let's just watch it again full speed. Boom. Processing speed. Here are a couple nice looks off of cuts. Desmond Bane has to do a better job putting pressure on the ball, but still, that's a tight window, small margin of error, gets it there just in time for Justin Holiday to get a look at the rim. And then here, Ish Wainwright does put a lot of ball pressure here. McCall Bridges, very long arms, but it's still there on a dime to Reggie Bullock, gets him a good look. Love this play, man. Catch it here in the short roll, gets Looney to commit. Pause it. This is when he's winding up to make this pass. He's going to use his eyes to get Wiggins out onto the corner to Bullock. Whips a perfect pass to Tim Hardaway, right into his shot. Bucket. All right, here he is again using his eyes to manipulate the defense. And yes, it's going to be hard for Shamet to get out to Hardaway anyways, but look at him go with Josh Green's eyes, sells it to Dorian Finney-Smith. He knows the whole time he's going to hit Hardaway. Cash. All right, this is a little bit of a dangerous pass, but this just showcases his athletic ability and pass-making ability. He's hitting Kleba on this, right? Like, look at that pass. Good look. Cash. And there were a couple games at the end of the season without Luka and Kyrie where he was able to be an on-ball creator. Here's an example of one of those plays. Gets downhill. Nice pocket pass to Christian Wood. Right here, Xavier Tillman shows. Immediately recognizes it. Tight window. Quick pass in a spot where Dwight can go right up and catch. And then I thought this was a really sneaky high IQ play. Right here, it's a broken play. At this point, there's 2 seconds left on the shot clock. A lot of guys are just going to hook up some garbage here. Look at what Josh Green does in this situation. Boom. Little pass to Jaden Hardy. Still a tough shot, but at least get a shot off, and Jaden Hardy ends up making it. And that'll about do it, guys. I'm going to continue to let some clips of him roll in the background, but I hope you guys can see why I'm so high on Josh Green as a role player, right? He has high basketball IQ, underrated passing, can make the open three, can score in the mid-range, can finish at the rim, great athleticism, super fast, plays within himself, makes the right play. And I think he's going to be so crucial for this Mavs team that is now constructed around 2 ball-dominant stars in Luka Doncic and Kyrie Irving. It just makes guys like Josh Green all that more important. So I'm really excited to see if he can take another leap this year. Again, he's gotten better every single year in the league, and that's not always the case. You see guys with a ton of talent sometimes go from year 1 to year 2 and not improve and stay stagnant, and that hasn't been the case. He seems to be a really hard worker, and so I'm excited to see where his career continues to go from here. But thank you for tuning in, guys. I hope you enjoyed. Stay tuned as I continue to churn out more content here on the channel. And I appreciate you guys spending some time with me.